So Lauren Bobert, of course, won her primary on Tuesday evening, and, as is always what happens, there was a big victory party, right? You won your primary. Everybody kind of knew at this point you were going to win it because there were so many other Republicans out there diluting the vote. It is important to note that she did not get 50% of the vote, and yet they're not going to do a runoff, which, I don't know, to me seems very undemocratic. But okay, whatever. You know, I don't live there. I don't make the rules. But anyway, Lauren Bobert had her party. She was wearing an autographed MAGA hat. She had her knockoff Trump sneakers that she admitted were, quote, very China. And she decided to turn the victory party into a bit of a pity party when she announced, for no apparent reason, completely unprovoked, I don't know who my dad is. Now, let me be clear. The discussion at the party where Boebert's walking around mingling with her supporters, people weren't asking her like, hey, who's your dad? Okay? Just to make sure we're all clear on the context here. Her father's absence at that event was not being discussed. The paternity was not being discussed. Nobody was sitting there demanding, where is your daddy? Who's your daddy? That simply didn't happen. Lauren Bobert just decided, you know what? These people are already loving me right now. I'm going to try to get a little bit more sympathy. Like, hey, everybody, I don't know who my dad is. What the hell? Like, here's what's even funnier about this. Her mom was there. All right. Lauren Bobert's mom was there. So for Boebert to announce like, hey, I don't know who my dad is. That's basically like standing up and saying, hey, you see this woman over here, my mom? Yeah, she was a bit of a party animal back in the day, and we don't know who my dad is. Like, that's an attack on your mom. Like, that's making some pretty serious implications about your mother's behavior when she was a teenager, which is when she had you. I don't know about you, but if I didn't know who my dad was, because there's many options, obviously, I wouldn't stand up next to my mom and be like, hey, she doesn't remember who knocked her up. But that is effectively what Lauren Bobert did there. That's got to be humiliating for her mom. But Lauren Bobert didn't think anything about announcing like, hey, watch how trashy I can be. But that's what she did. And I got to tell you, the people there, including her mother, apparently loved it. One campaign staffer said, quote, she's got it. I mean, you see it every time she gets up and talks to people. No one is telling her to say this. She's speaking from the heart. Yeah, I'm sure nobody is telling her to say this. Like, hey, get up there and tell people you don't know who your dad is. Like, no campaign staffer would ever advise you to do that. Lauren Bobert's mom talked to reporters. She said, we're just very excited. This shows how she just keeps moving forward no matter what is thrown at her. Okay, Mom, things weren't thrown at her. She grabbed a guy's junk in the middle of a theater performance, lied about it, and then the videotape came out. She was vaping indoors during the experience right next to a pregnant lady. Okay, those weren't things that were thrown at her. She was doing those on her own, okay? Be real about what your kids are. And then another staffer said, the theater stuff was bad. But you saw that afterwards, she showed voters she was contrite. She knew she had messed up. No, she didn't. She initially denied that any of it happened until the video footage came out. And then she was like, okay, well, obviously I can't fight this now because there's video footage. But she tried to lie about it to begin with and pretend it's all fake news. This was not thrown at her. These were her own actions. She is gutter trash. Has always been gutter trash. I mean, you go back long before she ever thought about, when she was dating her husband and he exposed himself to those two girls allegedly in the bowling alley. I mean, my God, there is a pattern of disturbing and disgusting behavior throughout the entire Boebert family tree that, of course, extends to her youngest son, or not youngest, but her oldest son now, who, by the way, was not there at the victory party because he's facing felony charges, and Lauren Bobert has essentially left him out to dry, won't even pay for a lawyer for him, even though Lauren Bobert has a net worth that, according to the internet, is into the millions. So yeah, grade A classy family there, turning this victory party into basically an episode of The Jerry Springer Show. Hey everybody, I don't know if you've noticed this, but we are closing in on a pretty major milestone here at Fair and Balanced as we approach 500,000 subscribers. But we're not there yet, and we definitely need your support. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, like and comment on the videos and share them as widely as possible.